Hi, my name is Robin Phillips, and this is The Process from She to Her. The Process from She to Her was founded out of my own wilderness, and that's what brought us here today. I knew I couldn't do it by myself, so I brought a few friends to join me.
I'm John.
My name is Isaac.
Okay, listen, we're going to touch on some really hard topics. We're going to find freedom to release, and we're going to keep digging until we find a solution. Let's get into it. Today's topic is the foundation of a man. Okay, so listen, I chose that topic because I know that if you're messed up, we're going to be messed up. Yeah. So we're trying to fix ourselves. So I'm going to need y'all to be all right. All right? Mm-hmm. So let's talk about y'all foundation. I went online and I did a little studying, a little researching, and I'm going to tell you what I found. A study shows that growing up without a father is one of the leading causes of drug abuse, aggressive behavior, depression, even incarceration. And look, the kicker was suicide rate is at its all-time high due to fathers being outside of the home. Now, you have your father in your home. Growing up, was your father there?
Yeah.
How about you?
My father was definitely there.
Okay, so listen, let's change it a little bit because my father wasn't. So let's talk about how did your father being in the home shape your humanly foundation. Tell me about that experience.
I'm blessed that my dad was there from birth till now. Technically speaking, he wasn't there when I was born because he was overseas fighting an Operation Desert Storm. He was in the Army. But he has shaped my whole outlook on life, my work ethic, how to treat women.
That's good.
And also how to treat myself.
Okay. How about you, John?
I was raised originally by my grandmother, but my dad was still in my life frequently. But he taught me the business world, and he taught me how to carry myself. So, and I thank him for that and what I have today because of him.
Okay, so listen, let me go deep. I did not have my father, so my experience was different, and I'm a female. So I would think that my father would have been the first example to what a man should look like, how he would treat me, and I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. You spoke on how to treat a woman, but how do you treat a woman? Because I didn't know how to be a woman or how to treat a man. I didn't get that. I had to learn with the women that was in my family. I feel like God kind of put a ram in a bush. Yep. So I had examples from like my uncles and my brothers and stuff like that, but I never had that first thing, and that was my father. So tell me about your experience with your father being there and how to treat a woman. How you treat us, Isaac?
Well, my dad wasn't, I guess, the kind of dad that is straight out say this is how you treat a woman. He just led by example. My mother was more the person say you need to do this, do that. This is how you treat a woman. But my dad was just doing it by example.
I would think that your dad actually explained it, right? Because I hear the talk about how the dads come in and they sit down and have conversation with their sons and daughters and tell them exactly how life's supposed to be and this is what you're supposed to do or not do.
He said, just don't get no woman pregnant. That was pretty much
I don't put your hands on the woman.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, that's what they beat into it.
Yeah.
But as far as in the molding of how to treat the female, that comes from more of a mother side.
Oh no, I feel that a dad should tell you how to treat a woman, right? Because my mom is gonna tell me how to sit up straight, how to cross my legs, how to proper etiquette, pretty much. But I never had the daddy to say, well, you know what, this is what you look for in a man.
He would do that if my dad had a daughter. That's what he would do.
Really?
But since I'm not a daughter.
So y'all don't feel like that's something that y'all should have been taught at all outside of the example? Because sometimes looking at stuff is not what you think it is. Sometimes the words actually help, right? So y'all talking about an example. What about the wording? Nobody told us anything?
That's more of an emotional standpoint. So yeah, your dad's gonna hit the basic. I mean, don't hit her. I mean, don't get her pregnant, stuff like that. But as in the emotional part of it, that's gonna come from your mom.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that because that's the one thing that women feel like they miss when it comes down to relationships. Y'all are not emotionally tied to us. Like the affectionate part is missing. We as women need that. So let's talk about affection. Do y'all feel like affection is needed? Necessary.
Yeah.
It's needed, depending on the love language of who you're dating or you're married to. But that's something that men don't really have a lot of, which is why I think God made women in the first place. But that's another topic.
Well, I'm going to say this. If it's needed and you say you don't have it, how do you get it? What do you do?
Listen.
Is that a part of the relationship that's going without? How do we cope with that? You know, women are from Venus, men are from Mars. Do that really exist? Come on, man. Some of these men need to know. We need to know. We need to hear it from another man's perspective. Some of the women needs to know. You know what I'm saying? So talk to me. Don't shy out now. It's your time to speak.
Go ahead, John.
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I guess just you have to learn. Most of the time, men just learn as they go into a relationship, I guess.
Well, I feel like this affection is a major part of relationship for a woman, and if you do not have it and you do not know how to give it, then we go without. That means there's a hole there, right? So we trying to cover up the holes, right? So we need y'all to learn. Pick this
It's
tool
like
up.
Music Soul Child. He had a song, right? Teach me how to love.
But y'all be talking about teaching. Y'all ain't ready to be taught.
I think more is most of the time is the trust issue with the men to open up to that. I mean, I think men can be affectionate. I mean, well, can be affectionate. It's just that right person, get it out of them.
Get it out. Trust. So don't trust go both ways?
Yes, it does.
How deep is trust for a man? Let's talk about that. Because we don't talk about that. Like, we kind of, us as women don't know exactly what y'all need. We kind of go by ear or try to play it by what we see or what y'all tell us. But then I do know because we made up differently, we don't even really tap into that much.
Well, trust is everything. Because the thing my dad would always say is your word got to be your bond.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad was a man of his word. So when you say something, you better do it. And that's pretty much making sure that your name is tied to trust in other people. When somebody is saying, "Oh, I asked you to do something," I know Ice is going to do it. Like today, I didn't know I was going to be here today. And you sent me a text message 7:00, be here, and I was here at 6:59.
I said 6:59. He was in the building. I love it. Okay, what about you? Because you said something about trust, and I think it's so deep. I really do.
I'm about to agree with Isaac on it. I mean, that's the strongest the men got is they bond, is their word. But it plays a big part in the relationship.
So what happens when trust is broken?
It's hard to be repaired.
Yes.
It's hard. It's like a whole new learning surface all over again.
What trust has been broken in a female? Okay, listen. You guys can do something, and y'all expect us to kind of jump back on that bandwagon because y'all not ready to let it go in a relationship, right? But the trust has been severed on your end. Why is it like a double standard when it comes down to when a woman breaks a man's trust? Help me understand that. Because I know once we mess up in y'all eyes, we're done. It's a done deal. So why y'all hold it so near and dear to your heart? Another question that stumps the men. One for women, none for men.
I think women are stronger than men in that part, in that recovery part. Men, I mean, males have a hard time handling that type of stuff. better than female?
Well, one, I think it stems from vulnerability. And men don't like to be vulnerable or show any weak side to anyone. So when you're in a relationship and a man kind of lets a woman in to some of that weakness and then it gets betrayed, it falls apart because men aren't easily vulnerable. Now women like to open up their emotions. Men like to. We were made to kind of be the foundation and to be structured.
I don't think it's too much different from a woman, though. The reason why I say that is because my trust, too, has been severed or broken. But the only thing is that I got up and I know that I can make a choice. I made a choice to continue on in the relationship or let it go. However, what happens is the same scar that you're trying to avoid, I carry in my heart. And that's how we started the process from she to her. So I kind of want to get to the trust. The trust is big for both women and female. But for you guys, y'all kind of look at it totally different. So I just kind of want to touch bases on that as well. Now listen, I was abused, right? Growing up, even from men, because I did not have a father. And y'all talk about how amazing y'all dad was. I wish one day that I could have had that experience or even get that experience now, because it's never too late. I.e., father, it's never too late. I'm here, right? So let's talk about if you had children or one day when you have children and the examples you want to set for your child.
Child period or girl and boy?
Girl, boy, either or. What would you take from it? Would you be the father that you had, or would you be the father I had?
I think I'd be the father that I had.
I would definitely be the father I had.
Okay, definitely. Why? Talk to me.
Because he was there. You said that from my dad being married to the same woman my entire life. That's really the only way I know how. Like the thought of me fathering a child and pretty much abandoning that child is not even a thought. Because that's just how I was brought up.
Abandonment. That's a big thing in our community, the black community, right? Can you talk about the black community and its abandonment and what you've seen or experienced?
I think a lot of this kind of stems back to slavery days and when we were finally free from slavery, but of course they institutionalized other things to keep the black man under. The devil, of course, had a lot to do with that. But if you take away the man, because God made the man the head of the household, if we take him away, everything else crumbles because the foundation is gone. Now, women done a marvelous job stepping in. There's a lot of single mothers that I know that do an amazing job. You are one of them. But that's not what God had intended.
Not at all. It was intended for a two-parent household. And that's why we get a lot of broken people out here today. Because we don't have a father, and sometimes we don't even have a mother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's important. How about you? Can you speak to any type of abandonment?
No, I can't speak to that. I mean, like I said, my parents wasn't married, but like I said, they both was in my life a lot, all the time. But nah, I can't. I didn't have no experience with abandonment.
Okay, so listen. I was raised by my grandma, right? And I spoke about the ram in the bush. You too kind of live with your granny to some degree. So tell me how that was when your mom and your dad came together and affected your life in a positive way, and they weren't like in the home.
I never thought about it that way. I never actually sat there and thought. I mean, like I said, on weekends I was with my mom. Summers I was with my mom. See my dad almost every day because he'd come over, whatever the case may be. But I never sat there and try to analyze. But both my parents is not here, type thing. So I never thought about it that way.
Good. Okay, so listen. Let's sum it up. It's important for a father to be in the home. It's important for you all to do the work and build upon yourself to help us build upon who we supposed to be. And if we work as a team, then we have some real whole people, right? Positive, encouraging people. So we can't go wrong with the foundation of a man, right? All right. So listen, I hope you like what you hear. I need you to come back same time, same place. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe at From She to Her. This is the process.
Dig in.